It's time for the SVU After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We have so much to talk about. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the SVU After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud. Subscribe there as well. Those are my subscribing fingers. Do that. This is Law & Order Special Victims Unit, Season 18, Episode 14, Net Worth. An episode full of guest stars. I am your host, Yael Tygiel. I am joined by the dancing
I'm just
Salaun.
enjoying the tunes over here. Hey guys, super excited to be here chatting with y'all. I see you guys in the live chat. You can find me everywhere online at Lauren Salaun.
Oh, you're not going to spell it?
LAURENSALAUN.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we jump into it, as we always do, we would like to give a hotline to someone who may need it.
Yes, that number is for RAIN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, and the number is 1-800-656-HOPE, 1-800-656-4673.
Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Wow.
I am so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. This episode deals with, you know what, we're going to say some terrible things. Here's why. This episode dealt with not just rape, but it dealt with how much shutting up about your rape is worth. And therefore, we are going to make some jokes that may not be appropriate. And if that doesn't sit well with you, then this show is not for you. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
Do I need to say more? You think that's sufficient?
I think that's great.
Great.
I think that's great.
Let's get into it. Because
All right.
$20 million.
Right?
Over how long was it? 4 years?
4
Was
years.
It was $5 million a year.
Yeah.
Because you were wondering last week.
Oh.
We're just jumping right in.
I might be like, meh, okay. not really, you guys, but $5 million a year is really nice. I'm kidding. These are jokes. Mostly. Just kidding.
No, okay. So for those who somehow missed the episode, we have Eli, our perp, Zoe, our Vic, Ingram, our drug dealer, played by Will Brill, who could not be here today.
Do you know that his name could be Bill Brill?
It's not.
Which would be, anyway.
It's not.
Have a nicer ring to it.
Fun fact, a friend of his in high school called him Brillium.
Ah.
That friend was me.
Oh.
In high school, I called him Brilliant. Anyway, I don't know that he knows that, so please don't bring that up. Where were we? So we had the drug dealer, and then we also, did you have posted on
I would post it, yeah.
Is it
That's
a personal
distracting.
information?
I mean, it's got people's names on it.
That's personal information. Girl.
Not their last names.
And their phone
But it
numbers.
was distracting.
And their socials. So we also have a previous victim, Kate, who took the money and got her career ruined. That, I think, is the issue that, like, Zoe needs to think about. Is that it's not just money, it's that her career then is over and she has to do something else with her life.
Right. Which is kind of shitty. She takes the money and then, like, still has the career fallout. Like,
Yeah.
Dang it.
Right.
She went along with the plan and it still didn't work
out. That's the problem. Not that she was raped.
Insensitivity and sarcasm.
Uh-huh.
I'm kidding, you guys.
This is great. I hope the chat is very angry and I'm very excited. I think the issues from this episode that I really wanted to talk about is not the storyline, because the storyline was very old school. Girl gets raped. We know who did it. It reminded me of the episode from earlier in the season where the girl gets raped by the grandfather. The like bartender gets raped by the rich grandfather who's like, Quaaludes, everyone's taking these. I don't know what year it is. Remember that one? It's my favorite. That was a fun episode.
That was like 3 weeks ago, I feel like. Not including all the breaks we've had.
The month
3
and a
weeks
half
in terms of episodes.
That was a fun episode.
Yes.
Now.
Mr. Henry missed you on Gay Weekly Roundtable. I just wanted to say that before we move on to the conversation.
I was unavailable earlier today. I apologize. But I'm here for SVU, so that's what matters.
It is.
Yeah, SVU. So as the story goes on, I kind of like how they're like anti-Wall Street in this episode, right? They're like, oh, these people are terrible. These companies are terrible. They only care because they're making money. Boo capitalism. Like, that's what this episode felt like. It got very preachy.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't understand enough about, like, capitalism and Wall Street to understand what they were saying.
Well, I think it was interesting because it is like at that level what they're doing hedge fund wise, and it's. I mean, you've been to New York several times.
Yes.
And
I was like, are you gonna explain this to me?
not like completely. I don't work in that world, but how I mean, New York's a super expensive place to live, but also like some of the most money is there, and like there are people who are like that one guy was like, oh yeah, he owed me 20 million for my bonus. And that's like sounds like ridiculous money to some people, but that's very real money when you're working in that world. And so it's like, oh, I'll just like give you. How's $1 million? Just so you know, keep this quiet. You 500 grand? How about $1 million?
I was like, what is happening?
Like, oh,
Where's
that'd be
this
nice
money
to
just
be
sitting
like,
around?
I'll just toss you $1 million.
I liked the model who didn't have a last name, who was like, it was great that I didn't even have to sleep with him. I was like, girl, I think the word you're looking for is prostitute, not model. Prostitute. Yeah. And a bad one at that, where she was like, oh, I didn't even have to do anything.
Call girl, escort, I don't know.
Yes.
Difference.
Yeah, that. The other thing that was very interesting in this episode, where the cameras, when like in the end, the twist that got everything going, where the camera's in the office, and Zoe like points out that it makes her uncomfortable and that's creepy.
Yeah.
And it is creepy, but I wanted to talk about that, and they just like blew past it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, but I feel like there's. Do you feel like that? I mean, this is jumping ahead now, slightly prediction-y. Sure. But do you feel like that's a foreshadowing of next week's episode, which is very much about tapping and stuff, or like illegal surveillance?
No, I think it has nothing to do with that.
Well, yeah, I don't think they planned it that way. But then they're like, oh, conveniently, let's arrange these episodes this way.
All right, sure.
Because maybe we'll get into more of that.
Maybe they'll like call back,
week,
be like, "Oh, remember?"
Probably not. Like I don't think they'll link them like that, but you may get that satisfaction next week.
Okay,
since that is a big topic.
I see. Because that was like really annoying to me that they were like, because that's a huge
they're like,
thing.
Oh, no problem. We record everyone's conversations. Here you go. And they're like, oh, cool, thanks.
Yeah, like the entire building has cameras everywhere.
That's super
and the employees
weird.
Don't know.
Super weird. It's got to be illegal in some way, or it's like they have a huge employee handbook that they have to sign, and it's like meow in there.
I was thinking that as well, but it's also possible that like they're not hidden, just people never notice them.
Yeah, or I mean, a lot of places have surveillance cameras, so you may, like, I mean, we've got them here, you know.
I mean, we happen to be in a room surrounded by cameras.
We're on camera right now, but you know,
people can see that I'm not wearing pants.
But people. So it's not weird in that sense, but the fact that they were unaware of it, that's the thing that's weird. You know, I feel like they should just, what's the difference? Just tell them, because then there's transparency and people are going to...
Right, wasn't their company motto like to be honest all the time?
Yeah, like he's like we value ourselves on our great employees and all this stuff, integrity, blah blah.
But like, what's in the first scene, Zoe's creepy boss, the one who like has been setting up women to be raped by Eli, I forget his name. He said like there are 3 rules: never tell the truth, never use your own money, and never say no to the client. And then later, his boss is like, our company prides itself on integrity and honesty. And I was like, I don't think it does, sir. I don't think so at all. Oh, man.
You know.
The other issue, this really bothered me.
What?
Okay, so...
Her hair?
No. Who? Wait, whose hair?
I'm kidding. Keep going.
Missy Peregrine's hair? That girl can do no wrong. I love Missy Peregrine.
I was joking. Sorry, just kidding. Do your hair however you want.
She's so hot. Anyway, and she's not 27, just to be clear. She is an adult.
Yeah.
So when she gets the job offer from the other firm for the $5 million a year for 4 years.
For 4 years.
And then a bonus after that, depending on how they're doing.
Retire for the rest of your life in 4 years for a secret rape? I'm kidding again. Stop looking at me like that, you guys all watching.
I'm looking at you like that. I was like, what? So she gets this job offer, and Liv takes it to Barba and is like, what are we going to do? Yes?
Katie Cat said Zoe had some seriously 90s hair. Yeah, I know. 90s mom hair.
How dare you? Missy Peregrine is beautiful.
She is. I didn't say she's not beautiful. I said her hair
is 90s mom
could have been better.
Longer? She
Yeah.
does. She looks really good with long hair.
Mm-hmm.
You should all see the movie Stick It. It's a great movie about gymnasts. Okay, so she gets the job offer for the other firm, and when Liv takes it to Barba, Barba suggests, and this is where I got very angry. Barba says maybe this job and this money will help her heal and give her closure, and Liv goes, "I don't believe that, and neither do you." And he goes, "Yeah, so let's like go get her." I went, "What was the point of this conversation? What was that just happened?"
Barbara was like, "Ugh, I really want to take the weekend off. I won't go to court."
It was
maybe it's actually a good thing. Maybe they just take this deal.
I just don't understand what the point of that conversation was, right? She said he was suggesting that it was okay, and Liv was like, you don't believe that, and he went, "You're right, I don't." Then why would you say it, sir? What is the point of this conversation? I'm like really upset, and so I'm flailing and shaking the desk.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because we did have that theme of like people trying to kind of play it down and brush it under the rug. Like obviously her boss who was in on the whole thing and stuff. So maybe just going along with that of like, well, maybe, even for someone on our side kind of suggesting maybe it's an okay option to take. And he's like, "Oh yeah, deep down, you're right. I don't."
It wasn't even a deep down though.
Just one question in, you're right. I don't.
Yeah.
not deep down, but yeah.
I was so angry. I was like, why? Why did that entire thing happen? What is the chat saying? You're giving me faces.
Katie says Barbara just wanted to be on his yacht. Exactly.
Because Barba's making bank.
Yeah.
He's got a little boy toy
Barbara
on the
just
side
wanted to
named
keep things
Carisi.
spicy between him and Liv, says Jay Ruiz.
Oh, no. That's someone shipping those two. Yes.
Yeah. Oh no, it wasn't on that topic.
Fine.
You know what slightly bothered me?
Yes, tell me.
I was like, we just saw the next day situation with them. I'm like, saw nothing. Like it didn't even end up being a he said she said thing, really. Like they kind of suggested that
for a second,
in a way
and
for
then he
a
went,
second.
"Yeah, no, we had sex."
But there was no way that anyone believed that. Like us viewers didn't believe that. No one doubted her for a
Right.
second, I don't think, watching the show. So it was bizarre that they tried, I don't know, were they trying to be mysterious about it? Because there was zero flirtation or, the wine thing. Like, actually, I will have a glass of that.
Well, because her boss just said you don't say no to the client.
Right.
And so she was like, "Well, I got to do this now."
Yeah. Yeah, but I was hoping for a little conflict.
A little misleading. Like the email thing. When that happened,
I wanted to see some of the
all
dirt, the
went.
juice,
Yeah.
and the tension and
Absolutely.
inciting incident.
But when the email thing came up, when he was like, "Oh, she sent me this email. Why would she send that if she wasn't having a good time?" And I went, "This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard."
Yeah.
We know she didn't send that. She went to the office. You were there.
And
She decided.
why would you email?
Right.
You
First of all, it would be a
weirdo?
text. Second of all, she went straight to the office, saw him,
company
and
email.
went to the police. She came in
Yeah.
to the police. He's really bad at, for someone who's so good at business or whatever he does.
Yeah. Let me think about this. If you just slept with a high-powered client, yes, I would send it from my work computer and my
Right.
work email.
Right.
No.
I really appreciated her coworker who was like, "Oh, if she says it happened, it happened."
Yeah,
And then his
yes.
explanation was so good. First of all, she worked so hard she wouldn't jeopardize it by sleeping with the client. And second of all, what does she have to gain from claiming this?
Yeah.
He's gonna ruin her.
Yeah, exactly. I
I
like that a
loved
lot.
that. It's really nice to hear male colleagues of a victim defend them in reasonable, logical terms, and it wasn't just because she's so honest.
Right. And also the owner of her company or the president or
Yeah.
whoever he was being like, "Oh, well, he's out of here," about her boss.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly when that came to light.
Yeah, but he was protecting the company.
right, but still,
Well, the best part was that he's like, he'll be out by the end of the day, and then sits down to read the newspaper, and I went, "Shouldn't you send a text and
he
then
probably
go?"
did. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, "I'll do it later."
Yeah, I'll do it in
I
a
was
moment.
reading
Yeah.
the comics.
Get out of here.
What's the chat saying?
Well, Morale says Yael is bae, and
Shock.
ships Benson and Barba. No,
No.
we don't.
Barisi all the
Watch
way.
what you say in here.
We're so ridiculous. Just to be clear, everyone, Benson Barba or Barba Carisi, neither which seem to be happening. It's all up in our heads, and we like it there.
This is true. I mean, I don't like Benson Barba. That's just weird.
I could see it happening once, the way
She's
she did with
way
like
too-
Cassidy way back season 1 before that became a thing.
Yeah, but she's way like not. This is gonna sound wrong, but
I love
she's,
when you say things that sound wrong because you do it all the time on this show specifically.
I don't really care that much, but she's way more masculine than Barba, and she's not like a masculine woman.
No,
but
there have been plenty of episodes where they
she's
question.
got a strong energy.
Oh,
and-
she's gonna dominate him. I now have it in my head, and it's gonna be real nice.
No.
Yeah, no, she will dominate the F out of him. Yep.
You guys, no. What have I done?
I'm now
No,
picturing.
what have you done,
Yeah.
Morel? Just kidding.
Mwah.
Okay, Ariadne says, yeah, makes no sense for her to send it from her computer and work computer. No. I don't know what Ashley is referring to. Yeah, I like the guys other than D-Bag. Oh, working with her. Yes, agree.
I like that you were like, who's D-Bag?
No, well, the guys. Anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so cool. Hey, Gabby. Hey. Who else is in here? Jay Ruiz.
Well, now seems like a good time then.
For what?
To thank everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love SVU so much. I really do.
I know.
I find a way to bring it up on everything I do. And so far, I've succeeded. It's been great.
Good.
I brought it up once on Flash and Friends at Screen Junkies.
Oh.
It had nothing to do with what we were talking about, but I was like, this reminds me of SVU.
This one episode of SVU.
Yeah, it was great. So thank you all so much for joining us. We clearly love talking about the show. We do this for you, but mostly for us. And also for you. We ask you to do a very simple thing. Go to iTunes, subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, especially with a show that takes hiati whenever it feels like it. Just as this one does. So rate, review. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. If you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. The other stars, still broken, so skip them. But if you bang on the keyboard, write some words or emojis.
Oh, I love it.
I do too. Lauren will read them live on the air. Yay!
Woohoo!
What do we got?
We have one brief review for us today.
Is it 5 stars?
It is 5 stars by
Yay.
Say Sean.
Say,
The
Sean.
title is just the flame emoji. And
Wait, was that your flame emoji? I like it. That's hot.
thank you. Good one.
Thanks.
And the review goes as such: lit show.
For those who
Oh,
are
sorry, I
audio
flexed.
listeners,
I
yeah,
flexed.
It was the arm muscle.
Lit show.
Thank you so much. That's
Thank you.
That's
Say
a great
Sean.
review. Say Sean. Say Sean. What do you think about? Yeah, I'm clever. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate that. Let's continue. I want to talk about the Tutuola thing. It was a very brief moment
Yes,
between
actually, thank you.
Carisi and Tutuola. This is
Oh.
why I have notes.
Okay.
What?
No, keep going.
Okay. A really brief moment between Carisi and Tutuola. It seems that Finn has taken the sergeant test and was waiting for results, right? That's what it looked like. Did anyone interpret that differently? It was the first time, because I know that there have been times where it's been suggested that he do it and he said no. And Baby Dodd's being gone and all, we needed a new sergeant. Who is our team now? It's Carisi. Who's still
works
there?
here?
Well, because we haven't had an episode with like all of them
Yeah,
doing
because
stuff.
Finn's been gone for. He hasn't really been
Right.
around very
I know.
much. He's
So
been
we've
studying for
got-
that test, apparently.
Maybe. So we got Carisi, who's doing a lot of stuff. He went undercover this week, which was great. I like when he goes undercover because he like can play the Wall Street guy, but he also
Yeah.
can play the skis.
Did you? Well, we didn't. We'll go back to Finn a little bit.
Yeah.
But did you feel like Carissa? I'm noticing all their hair. I guess this week.
It's
Was his
gotten
hair very silvery?
Yeah, it's been getting more silver every
like it.
episode. Last week I noticed it a lot.
I liked it, and he was like doing his preppy Wall Street thing. I thought he pulled that off very nicely.
I've noticed. So recently, I was watching old episodes. Shocker. With it was Carisi with his stupid mustache. Do we all remember the stupid mustache? Yeah, he had it. It was very brown, and so was his hair. And that was like last season, I believe, if not the season
Maybe he's
before.
doing that like cool gray thing.
It
Where you
looks-
intentionally dye it gray. One of my
It
friends
looks
is gonna do that.
so good on him. His hair has been getting
Oh,
silverer
I liked it. I
and
was like,
silverer.
Carisi, nice. Maybe he is.
It's time to say it. He's a silver fox.
Oh, I thought you were going to say gay.
No. No, there's no
But maybe that
confirmation.
too.
That explains why I've fallen in love.
Yeah.
I like Silver Fox Carisi. I'm embarrassed to say it, but I've said it here
No,
on the air.
when I watched it too, I was like, Carissa, you look stylish today.
He's looking real good.
Yeah. Yeah. But back to Finn real
Yes.
quick. I liked, so we had him be more present in this episode than we've seen a lot. And I liked when he was speaking with was when he was talking to Zoe or the other
To Kate.
woman? Yeah,
when
to
he
Kate,
was like
when he
a-
stepped in
Yeah,
and kind of
and-
took control of that
and
conversation.
Benson gave him this
She was
look
like, are you sure?
Like, this
You
is
got
not
this?
appropriate. Yeah.
You got this. He's like, I'm good, you know, and he like got real and got a little deep with her to kind of probe that situation. And because we've seen him like most of the time, it's just like those cheesy one-liners, you
Blah,
know?
blah, blah, semen. I'm Dice Tea.
Yeah.
Which reminds me,
Blah, 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 semen, iced tea.
Steven in the booth.
Hey, yo, hey.
You know what I'm going to ask you to pull up for me, and we'll get to it in a bit, but you showed it to me last week with iced tea. Okay.
Oh, I thought it was the erectile dysfunction song.
We're not pulling up the erectile dysfunction
What?
song.
You sure we're not?
No, we're not.
'Cause I
Wrong
could.
show. Wrong
I could-
show.
I
I
could
keep
pull it
wanting
up.
to make jokes about pulling up
Stop.
and erect.
Pulling up doesn't always work.
Okay. You pull up.
Especially when we're talking
those
about erectile
memes.
dysfunction.
If anyone
Though you
wants
may
to
have
know
to pull up for
how I'm
that.
finding these, you just need to search iced tea Law and Order memes.
Okay, well, hold on to that. We're not there yet, but we will be in a minute.
Are we there yet?
No.
Hanan says Finn was emotionally invested in this episode. Why?
Excellent question, because Finn doesn't really get emotionally invested.
No.
I really hope this is foreshadowing that Finn is
Yes.
going to like take more of a leading role and be less of a side character and be
Yep,
more of the main
That's what Jay
detectives.
Ruiz says. I think Finn was showing he can be a sergeant.
I just hope it's the show telling us that he's going to be more involved.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Before we get into these really fun things that I was shown by Steven, our engineer, I want to mention really quickly the way the episode ended, where she decides to testify and she doesn't want to let him steal her dignity one more time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for making that face. For those not who
Now
are
make it
listening.
again.
Yeah. It's not...
It was like very impactful because Liv really struck a chord with her, but it was cheesy.
It also didn't need to be verbatim what she
No.
said. Especially because he's going to steal your dignity one more time. No, he's going to do it again. Not one more time, again. Because I feel like even if he was, like, if he was set free, he would get to then keep stealing her dignity by making more money and leaving her in the dust or ruining her career. It is not one more time. It is again.
Yeah.
So frustrating. I just...
Language,
If-
guys.
I get very picky about words. I just wish this episode could have been just a tiny bit more interesting.
A lot of people in the chat really loved this episode.
I mean, there were parts that I liked. Give me
Okay,
a minute to
always
think
have
of
to.
them.
We don't always have to agree.
Yeah. But give me a minute to think about the parts. All right. I would
what
like
she
to
said.
share. Yeah. I did say that. Thank you. I don't know if you all know that, but the she that everyone refers to is usually me. All right. We have some great memes that I'm so glad Steven found for us. I want to check these out because these are the Finns that this is SVU and this is Finn. What's
Jay
up?
Ruiz says, I think Yael should write for the show.
Aw. I think my stories are not appropriate for the show, which is funny for a show
Network.
like this. That's not what I meant. All right. Mine are gruesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do we got, Steven?
All right.
Pull it
Give me
up.
one sec, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
While he's doing that.
Well, there is some speculation in the chat that, not speculation, concern
Sure.
that if we're building Finn up to be more of a leadership type role, does that mean they're preparing us for Liv's departure and his taking over?
No.
I agree. No.
No. I think it means that Liv will continue her position, maybe be more Kragan-like, and then he will take on a more Stabler-esque, Nick-esque lead detective position.
Okay.
Because we kind of don't have a lead detective right now. And it was like they were trying to put Rollins in that position, but they stopped doing that and gave Carisi more to do.
All right, sorry guys, I'm ready
Yes.
now.
All right, let's see what we got.
All right, so these are what we call Ice-T memes,
Yes.
and it's just him making up street stuff, and it's hilarious. So
Wait.
here's the first one.
These aren't outtakes, are they?
No.
These are
These
just
are
things people have
real?
made up, but you
Oh.
Somebody
read
took
them in his voice.
screenshots. Okay,
Oh my
read it.
gosh.
So, lab found traces of cocaine and sourdough. They call it sweet chowder. It's a drug soup from Baltimore.
This is like could be used in the show.
Absolutely.
Next one is,
I love
it's
it.
called Brenda. Kids try it at parties. Next thing they know, they're online getting paid to yell at their own genitals.
Oh, I don't even know what that means.
It's called Brenda.
You
Turns
know-
out that joint was laced with cat litter and soy sauce. Kids are calling it brown Christmas.
I really
Next
like that one.
Christina buys him breakfast. He rapes her for lunch.
Aww.
It's really messed up.
I'm laughing very
They
hard.
glued pubic hair to his face and told him he was the wolf man. Final semester,
Gosh.
scumbag teacher tells him he's got to finger a stork on webcam if he wants to graduate.
No!
Finger a stork.
They make these kids dress and act like robots. Messes them up so bad they think they're from the future. Toxicology says she OD'd on some new narcotic called toilet brittle. It's made from trail mix and hand lotion. They made him fight a newborn baby. Told him it was his own younger self, time traveling from the past, trying to take away his birthday. I think this might be the last one. 6-year-old girl promoted to manager, then forced to fire herself right before Christmas. That's it.
Ooh,
There's a
these are
bunch more.
good.
Just Google Ice-T Law and Order memes, and you will have a very fun
I
6-hour
love
period.
this.
Thank you, Steven.
Thank you so much.
These are so great. I don't know how we did not know these existed.
No.
You know what's so funny about this is that I love this show so much. I watch daily marathons because they're on. I don't care that I've seen the episode a bazillion times. But I didn't know Barisi was a thing until the fans told us on this show. I didn't know this was a thing. I'm so disappointed in
For
myself.
all you know.
I know nothing.
Yes.
I know nothing.
She
I'm
doesn't
Jon
even
Snow.
know who reads the intro part
I don't.
in
I
the
don't
intro credits.
know.
She doesn't even know who it is.
That's true, but
I don't, but no one expects that.
That's true.
I mean, everyone expects that. No one expects me to know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really disappointed in myself. All I can do is tell you what episodes had similar themes and who was in them
and
and
how
what the
many
episode.
times somebody was in an
and
different episodes.
all of
and
their
which one it was
characters.
called
Yeah,
and-
the seasons and episode number and
Yeah.
what it was called. Sorry, guys, I'm so disappointing.
Ashley says, "Ha ha ha! That was awesome, Steven." Jay Ruiz, hi, Steven. Thank you.
Thanks, Steven. Steven's so good to us.
Yeah.
I think we might want to head into predictions. Nope. Okay.
He left.
Buzz TV
Whoa.
prediction.
Buzz
was
TV
muted, sorry.
predictions. Thank you. All right. Only one
I
arm?
don't know
So there's a reason you don't know who does the monologues for the openings.
why.
Is because
He's
his
probably
name
died
is Steven
years ago.
Zern-Kilton.
Ooh,
It's just a very interesting name, not one you would
Steven
really
Zern-Kilton.
think to remember.
Obviously,
Well,
it's
and
Steven Zern-Kilton,
How
guys.
old is that man now?
Obviously,
Yeah.
Steven Zern-Kilton.
The truth is, I think he's recorded 3 different things.
Oh my gosh, I'm such a... I know how television works. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi.
I like that you think it's not SNL where he has to do it every week.
No, it's okay.
He's only 68.
I just had a moment.
That
It's
was great.
fine.
Thank you, Steven.
Thanks.
Lauren,
Thanks for...
let's head into predictions.
Yeah.
Okay, next week, the woman, we don't know if she's the victim or just a woman,
Yes.
her phone was hacked.
And they've hacked the entire NYPD.
Everything is being sent to a killer. That's it. That's what we got.
Yeah. So,
Thoughts?
I mean, like, I just felt like it was convenient timing from the little drop of, like, the
Yeah, we
surveillance
heard what
thing.
you think.
Oh. All right. Goodbye. Thank you for having me today.
I I definitely don't think it has anything to
Well,
do
I
with...
don't think they
No,
planned
no,
it.
but
We know how they do this. They're like, what episode do we have for next week? How about this one? Great idea. But I think it's
I like that
convenient.
you think that that's how TV works. We're
Sometimes-
going to bring this old man
Guys,
in, have him
sometimes-
live record this again.
I know that's not how TV works. I just forgot for a second. I was going to go on a tangent, but I'm not going to.
Now I need to know what it was.
You guys, when I was little, so the MGM intro for all the MGM movies, the line roaring. The line roaring in the MGM intro movies. I used to think when I was little, very little, that line lived in a big building, like a high rise in downtown Los Angeles, and they would record him all the time doing that. Aren't I cute?
I once was in a movie theater and it was an MGM picture, and there's a great little pause between the roars where I went meow and the entire audience laughed.
Oh.
I amused everyone. Yes?
Katie Cat thinks that Carisi's going to go undercover as the IT guy next week.
Oh, yeah. I like that. This reminds me of when Donna Logue was on. I really love when they go undercover, and I really like Carisi doing undercovery things. Do you remember, like, one of the first times?
Gabby thinks that too.
What?
Prediction: Carisi goes undercover again. All caps.
She sounds angry.
Well, he's just always doing that.
I like it. I also like that he offers to. I could do this.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Just give me a different pair of glasses. I got it.
He's so adorable.
He is
He's
cute.
like a puppy, but now a silver fox.
Yeah.
Yum. Oh, Carisi. I really hope our killer is interesting.
Yeah. And it would be really cool if this opened up some bigger storyline, because we haven't had anything that runs through the whole season yet.
I'm
like
going
nothing's
to point
connected.
out that we're still missing those people that threatened to kill Barba.
Yes.
I have a feeling that's not going to happen.
Right?
I, for a minute, thought that was what was happening next week when I saw the beginning of the promo. When they said they hacked the whole NYPD, I went, great, we're finally getting that thing. But then when they were like, everything being set to a killer, I went, well, that's done. What do you got?
Morale. Prediction: Olivia Benson's therapist raped his patient and hacked the NYPD.
Oh, Bill Irwin.
Hanan, I think Lauren's right, because everyone was wearing heavy coats and it was colder than March weather. That they just grabbed
pick
this
episodes.
episode.
Got it. I was like, what? Oh, got it. Weather.
They're like, oh, this would work. We just talked about bugging. They'll think we organized it this way. Sorry, this is rude of me to say about our beloved show.
It's actually very likely. A lot of shows do air
Yeah.
out of order. We know that especially because they literally pulled an episode from the schedule that we will never get to see ever. I want to see it so bad. I want more interesting.
Sorry,
Crimes.
Ashley. It would be awesome to have the guy who reads the opening credits be a rapist on the show. We'd be like, what is happening here?
I know this voice. Why
Who
do I
is this
know
man?
it? Oh my gosh, that would be so great. I want
Ashley.
that. Yes, Ashley. Start tweeting at the SVU writers
Jay
to do that.
Ruiz says Carisi secretly wants to be an actor, and that's why he's always undercover.
Carisi, who went to law school and wants to secretly be a lawyer.
I
But as a
don't
cop.
think that's that unrealistic.
No, I just like the idea that Carisi just has all of these passions that
He
he's holding
is.
inside. He's just a passionate guy.
Yeah. I don't think he's holding them inside.
He's letting them out.
Yeah.
I really want, as I always do, I want Donna Logue back, father of Rollins' baby. Lieutenant Declan Murphy is his
Yes.
name. I want him and Carisi to go undercover together.
In what sort of way?
Well, okay, so one of my favorite undercovers of Declan Murphy, because we've seen him, he does the Irish mobster a lot. There was the one where he goes into the holding cell with the guy who was looking at kiddie porn, and he's like, I didn't mean to get caught, and then he just pees himself. I want that character that he does, and Carisi's pedophile character to go out together and catch pedophiles.
Pedophile
Yeah.
party? Pedophile romance?
No, go catch them and arrest them.
Well, duh.
Not have a party with them.
Well, yeah, but might have to catch them.
Right. But I really want that character that he did because he beat himself and it made me laugh.
Hey, do it for the undercover.
Yeah, he really commits, and I think that Carisi could learn from him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because
I
then
agree.
Carisi would pee himself too. It would be really, it'd just be a
You just
pee
want
party.
You just want people to
All
pee
right, we're being
themselves?
told to wrap up because I keep talking about urine. Lauren, Lauren, where can people keep up with you?
You guys can find me everywhere online at Lauren Salaun, LaurensSalaun, especially on Instagram.
That's true. You are all over your Instagram.
I am.
And her Insta stories are wonderful.
Thank you very much.
I love your Insta stories.
Thanks.
Especially when people aren't yelling, get off the phone. I want that. I'm Yael Tygiel. You can find me everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. This weekend, I am at WonderCon in Anaheim. If you are there, you best come say hello. But until next week, we'll see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Dun, dun.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.